Alright, today we're going to work on the PXT. What we've done is we've determined this machine's got some issues, and what we've determined here at BG is we're going to send a kit to fix them issues. Okay, the kit that we've decided to put in today is the PXT-031. Okay, the kit is basically going to come with PLC and a drive board. They're going to be on a bracket, no big deal. And we're going to have a display, touch screen. So what's going to happen is we're going to replace the three major components in this PXT to get it up and running again. Okay. The only components that we're not going to be changing is the scales. If we determine that the scales have some issues, then this kit's not going to take care of that. But today we've come to the conclusion that this is going to take care of any issues this machine's having. So we're going to start by, we've already got it hooked up to power. We're going to turn the machine on. What we want to do is get some critical values, basically the values of the scales from the machine. After we put the new components in there, we're gonna go back in there and make sure that these values are the same. That way we don't get the machine mixed up. So to do that, we're gonna go over here to the upper right hand corner to the gear. Maybe. There we go. Diagnostics. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Enter. Okay. We need to go to another screen. There's a hidden button up here in the upper left. There we go. Passcode 2652686. Enter. We're going to go to D2. Okay. These bottom three values are what we're concerned about. So I'm going to get my phone out here and I'm going to take a picture. So when we're done, I can make sure that we have the values that we need. Alright, no big deal. Shut the machine off, disconnect the power. We've got to go ahead and start taking the machine apart. So, take the front panel off. Move the funnels. Got 4 screws. Hold the top on. Gonna have to remove the control knob. I always put it to position 2, just to have it. No big deal, just so I know where it needs to go back when we're putting the machine back together. Alright. So that's about all we've got to take off, get the top off. Turn the machine around. There we are. So for the back, we can kind of slide the top up, move it off to the side. As you can see, we've got quite a few wires here. We've got power, we've got our motor wires, just PLC, you name it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a picture. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture just to, so when I go to put this back together, I'm not confused. I'm going to take a couple pictures, actually. After you do a couple of these, it won't be that big of a deal, but first time we want to make sure we get everything put back where it's supposed to go. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to unplug all the wires from my drive board and my PLC. Like I said, the PLC and the drive board will be attached to a bracket, so we can pull the bracket, we can pull the whole deal out as one piece. So, I'm going to start over here. plug everything. Kind of be a little bit gentle with it, so you're not pulling wires out. I'll lay everything to the side. I've got no problem. We can lay everything off to the side, everything out of our way. As we got four screws that are holding the plate in place. We're going to remove them. One of them has a ground strap on it, as you can see, a ground wire. So we get all that out of the way. Basically, got all the wires out of the way. Let's bring this, move it out of the way. No big deal. We'll look at these here in a second. So, got that out of the way. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull the touch screen out. So I'm going to have a friend hold the lid up for me so that I can get some work done here. So. So as you can see, the touchscreen's held in here with 4 brackets. They're a little tricky. So that's the main reason why I'm having a friend hold the lid up so that I can mess with these brackets. They can be a little tricky. So, got all the brackets out of there. Just going to pull the touch screen out. I'm going to grab the new touch screen. I'm going to put all the parts back in the box. We're going to send everything all the parts that we take out of the machine, we're going to put back in the box and send back to BG. So, new screen, we're going to make sure that it's facing the right direction. I'm going to get my helper back over here to hold the lid for me. I'm going to hold that screen, make sure it doesn't fall out for some reason. As you can see, they can be a little tricky. I gotta find the clip that I dropped. There it is. No problem. As you can see, with Nathan holding that in place, it makes it a lot easier. Go ahead and put my cables back on the board here. Display. we go. So it can only go in one way. That's the wrong way. Alright, so that ought to be it for the touchscreen. So we'll kind of set that down and go from there. We're going to look at our drive board here. As you can see, this is the drive board that we took out of the machine. This is the other one, the newer one that we're going to put in here. As you can see, the drive boards you've got the drive board with the small relays and the drive board with the bigger relays. If you've got in the kit that you're putting in there, if you've got a drive board that has the smaller relays, okay, you put this in there, you put the new drive board in there, and just wire it up exactly like the picture that you took. If you've got a drive board with smaller relays and you're going to replace it with the larger relays, no big deal. There's just one thing you really need to watch for is you've got a plug-in for the solenoid and the fan. Okay, on this drive board, the plug-in for the solenoid and the fan are opposite. Okay, so when you wire the drive board with the larger relays in there, you need to make sure that the wires for the solenoid go for the solenoid and the wires for the fan go where the fan goes. So, and we'll show you that here in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and put the new board in here, board and PLC. And then we're going to have to watch here is our inverter. Okay, make sure that our inverter is in place. Okay, and also there's a switch right here on that inverter. Okay, when you're messing around with that, if you accidentally turn that switch off, when you go to use the machine, it's not going to work because we've turned it off. So we're just going to double check that and make sure it's where it's supposed to be. We're all in where we need to be, so I'm going to go ahead and put some screws in it, hold it in place. Doesn't have to be super tight. Remember, we got a round over here. Go ahead and get these two in first. I'm going to check my inverter, just to make sure we're not getting anything crazy going on here. Alright, once again, we're all in place. So I'm going to go ahead and start plugging things in. Just make sure our wires are where they're kind of start working with it. I'm going to start over here on the side. Got our power. I know it's power because they're both red and black. So we got our new side. So here we are. I'm to the point where, okay, which one goes where? Maybe they go there. I don't know. What I'm going to do is put these on here real fast, and then I'm going to look at my picture and make sure that my black and yellow and everything's where it's supposed to be. That's why I took a picture. So, looks like we're good. Yellow, gray, black, orange, blue. Alright, sounds good. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and wire up the rest of our drive board. Okay, so we've got the wires coming from our switch. Alright, once again, the drive board comes with a jumper wire on there. If you've got a PXT that doesn't have a switch, an on-off switch, you're going to leave the jumper wire exactly where it is. If you've got a PXT that has a switch in it, we're going to take this jumper wire out and we're going to wire the switch right into these two fittings right here. So here we go. We'll pull that out. Basically, we don't need that anymore. We'll toss that. So we got our wires coming from our switch, right? So here we go. Plug that in, red to black, black to red. I'm just going to double check. I'm good there. We got our wires coming from our solenoid. I'm going to look back here. It says solenoid right here on the back side. Now, almost trying to plug it in backwards. We got red to black, black to red. Right here in the middle is going to be our inverter. So I'm going to plug that in. Once again, we want black to black. Okay, and then the next thing is our fan. Our fan's over here. Fan's up here on the side. We're going to plug our fan in. Alright, so really not that big a deal. If you're not sure, like I said, on the back side of here, it's labeled exactly where the wires go. So next, I'm going to go ahead and start plugging in our PLC. So kind of want to form our wires back around the way they were. The PLC plugs in. You know, these things can only go in one spot, so they're not really that difficult. Just want to make sure our wires aren't all pinched and jammed up. Make sure we're not pulling anything out. Make sure everything's looking pretty good. All right, got a couple more over here. Oops, there we go. Get this bad boy. We got some wires in there. Yep, that's what I kind of want to watch out for. We're going to tighten this up. This is one of the areas where we can have a problem. If I didn't tighten that up, eventually that's going to come loose. It's going to cause a communication error in between the PLC and the drive board. All right, so I'm just going to double check. You know, we got my solenoid 110, which is our inverter, fan. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Everything's plugged in. I don't have any wires pinched. Everything seems to be where they're supposed to be. My inverter's good. It's on. So I'm happy. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid back on. Turn it around, start putting some screws in. Thank you. I'll get some text messages. It's good. Put our funnels back in. Make sure you get the new funnel in the new jug. We got the additive funnel. Make sure we get the push connect fitting. Make sure you get it on there all the way. Slide the panel on. Back in position 2. Alright. Okay. Make sure that we did what we were supposed to do. Make sure everything comes on. We're going to check that screen, make sure that our scale values are where they need to be. Fan came on, that's a good sign. Got a green light. Right. Things are looking good. Alright, we're going to go to, once again we're going to check, make sure our scale values hadn't gotten changed for some reason. So we're going to go to diagnostics, 76543210, enter. Once again we got the hidden button in the upper left hand corner, 2652686, enter. I'm going to go to D2. Actually our values look fine. I'm going to double check the picture that I took. hassles, of course. These values are off just a little bit. These say 230, it's 215, 230, 225. That's probably not enough to make a difference, but I'm going to go ahead and change the values just to make it as accurate as possible. Same here. There we go. Everything else looks good. Zero out. The machine should be ready to go. Have a nice day.